All right, y'all, welcome back to part 3, the final episode of my little Birdbox analysis. And today we'll be talking about my man Gary right here. Now, the thing about Gary is that he was outside with no blindfold on and he made it just fine, right? And this is one of the keys to differentiate the different people in society that these characters represent. Now, Gary, he explained how before it all started, he and his friends decided to take a train out of the city, right, to escape all the chaos happening. And when he got to his friend's house, they laid low for a little bit, and then he was explaining how they broke in. So then the other characters was asking him, hey, who's they? Because these creatures don't just break into people's homes. And he was explaining that the people from Northwood broke in. And when they asked them, where's Northwood? Like, what is that? Unc right here explained that Northwood is a mental institute for the criminally insane. Now, what does that tell us? This shows us that people with mental problems cannot be affected by the algorithm, right? Now, what does the algorithm do? Remember, these creatures aren't hurting anybody, right? If you're watching this movie and you're hearing about these creatures going around, these creatures, they're not harming anyone, right? They affect you mentally. And then what happens? You off yourself, right? You take yourself out. Now, this guy here was explaining how the crazy people broke into their house, took them out, and tried to force them to see. And then they asked them, how were they able to see these creatures and not be affected? And he was explaining how, look, these guys were not affected like everyone else. They wanted to see. You see, the crazy people, they wanted to see. Now, remember what we spoke about at the beginning of this. You have to be in a suggestive state, right, to be affected by these things. Now, what happens with people that want to see, it's a choice. You see, they're the ones who actively go around society causing carnage. You see what I'm saying? The people who take pleasure in seeing others suffering, they go looking for it. They're not affected by any of these things because they're already messed up in their head. You see, their emotional compass is not the same as everybody else. Now, this guy we have here, as we come to find out, he's not normal. You see, he said after the whole thing happened with the crazy people, he took off running, right? Went knocking door to door on people's homes and nobody let him in. Now, how was he able to make it this far, right? Going door to door and not being affected? It's not possible. And we'll come to see why. But he's special, just like those crazy people. And one more point about this guy, when they were interrogating him, the birds in the cage started chirping, and he was one of the first ones to look at it and pointed out the birds. Now, this is where it started going left for this guy. This is where we start seeing something very interesting in the movie. Now, he has this sketchbook. Now, pay attention. No normal person goes around with a sketchbook. So now we know that this guy is an artist, right? And this plays a very important role in what's going on with his head. Now, I'm an artist myself, right? And to create these creatures out of thin air, you need to have a vast imagination. And not only that, if we look, right, this guy drew multiple different forms of whatever is going on in his head. This is what this guy is seeing. You see what I'm saying? Everybody sees something different. Now, if I can pause it right here, you can take a look of the couple of things he drew, right? Now, we know that you can't physically just look at these things on the outside, because nobody, gets affected at the same time. Everybody has, this moment where the eyes start changing and then they just start going crazy and then they off themselves, right? That means that whatever's going on happens within the mind of the individual. Now, why didn't this guy go crazy after seeing all of these things, right? It means that he was already crazy. And listen, I'm an artist myself, right? And sometimes I draw things like this. And I'm telling you that every artist is a little bit crazy, right? You need to have a vast imagination and kind of conjure up different possibilities in your mind to create your characters. Not to mention, if you're the type of artist that create like horror content, kind of like Trevor Henderson, the guy who made Siren Head. You think like you don't have to be crazy to come up with a monster whose head is a damn megaphone? Like, think about it, guys. And here we can see the full scope of the different monsters, right? He's been seeing, and he's sketching one out right now. As you can see, he's an artist. You see, they never told us what he does, right? They never told us what he does as an occupation. I was looking throughout the movies to try to figure it out, but they never tell us, right? But now I'm seeing it. Now that I think of it, this guy's an artist. So now he waited till everybody's, busy, not paying attention to him, and now he's going to take the birds. He's going to put them in the freezer, right? Like, what problem does he have with birds? He's already infected. He's infected, but in a different way. You see? He's crazy, but, he's not as crazy as the guys from the Mental Institute. He's crazy, but in the artist way. There you go. He started ripping down the windows, ripping down the newspaper of the windows. Now, here we go, right? He's forcing her to look out the window. Now, what's going on here? If the creature is not physically there, yet the sensors on the Jeep was picking up on whatever was around the Jeep, right? Like I explained in the last video, that means that whatever it is, it's kind of like a signal, right? And for you to receive the signal, your eyes have to be open. You see what I'm saying? Your eyes have to be open because what? Your eyes are also some kind of a biological antenna that takes in information. Now that information goes into your brain, and depending on how your brain is structured, this monster or entity, or how I like to call it, the algorithm, right, takes a hold of you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of my little series about the Birdbox. I'm going to move on to another movie because, I like horror movies. Like I said, I'm an artist, and it's pretty interesting to me. And to put it all together, the creatures in Birdbox, they're not actual physical creatures, right? There's a signal going on, right? Something is creating a signal, which is affecting people's brain. And depending on how your brain is structured, whether you're, if you're crazy, it doesn't affect you as much. If you're susceptible or constantly in a suggestive state, right? Like scrolling on your phone, right? the information goes in through your eyes, affects your brain, and then it makes you numb and emotionally just dead, right? And then you off yourself. Remember, it does nothing physically to you. It doesn't break windows, it doesn't open doors, right? The only thing that we see in the movie that has any significant sign that the monster is around, there's two things. The birds start chirping, right? They start going crazy. Or the wind, they show you the wind starts to blow. Why? Maybe because they're trying to show you it's in the air, right? It's in the air. Kind of like radio waves, antenna waves, the internet. It's in the air, it's all around you, you can't escape it, right? And what is that? That's the internet. That's your phone, the algorithm, the content that you're watching. Are you mindlessly scrolling, making yourself suggestive, right? And then you see a video like some kind of terrorist attack or somebody getting hurt, some crazy happening, and then you think the world is all bad, and now you're mentally programming yourself, right? The algorithm is mentally programming you, yet you want more. You scroll more. You don't know what you're looking for, but you're just taking it in, right? It's taking advantage of your dopamine system. So now you need more. You're addicted, and eventually you become emotionally dead, right? And then what happens? You either become crazy or you wanna. Thank you for watching, and if you like the content, subscribe. Got more coming. Thank you guys.